Hello everybody and welcome to the end of the chill zone. This is about to become a very non-chill zone indeed. Our truce with a doll is just about to run up here in another 3 months. Year and 3 months. So we will be going to war with a doll. That will bring in Yemen. Yemen is currently in several wars, so they're not going to be very happy about this. The Mamluks are getting crushed by the Ottomans right now, which is always exciting. Ajuran is having some massive Malindi issues, somehow. Not entirely sure how all that's happening. Just, it's generally horrible outside of our borders, but we're doing quite well. We're going to be annexing some of these vassals, working on some of that stuff. Wileda is at 59% Liberty Desire currently. We still need to convert them over. Genjiro was converted. We're probably actually not going to convert Wileda at this point. It's kind of late in the game to be doing that, considering we want to be annexing them quite quickly. They have Kaffa. We want this gold. We're not getting a lot of it. We're making a ducat a month, ducat and a half, ducat and a quarter, something like that. Go ahead and select this fleet. We'll demothball it now that we're actually making some money. We do have some more ships coming in. Let's go ahead and queue up another one. Do we have enough to actually make money protecting trade here? No. What about privateering? No, we don't actually make money doing that. Okay. Once we take Zaja, I imagine we will. Next year in March, a little under a year, the monastic orders. One of the greatest strengths of the Ethiopian Church is the great number of successful monasteries that dot the landscape of our state. The monastic orders have contributed to the success of our state by founding new monasteries in newly conquered areas and by spreading the word of the true faith there. The monasteries of Ethiopia are also the source of the education of the Ethiopian clergy, its nobility, and its administrators, and as such have contributed greatly, apparently we're Japanese, have contributed greatly to the revitalization of the Ethiopian Church in the years past. The other side of this coin, however, is that the monasteries and the orders that run them have grown both rich and autonomous. We can rein them in, or attempt to, lose some stability and lose a bunch of local autonomy, or we can safeguard them, gain stability, and gain local autonomy in Sennar, Tajura, and Asab. That's these guys here. Their autonomy is already relatively low, down below 25%. This would be about equivalent to giving an estate this territory, and a free stability would be nice. We're currently at 1 stability. That would be worth roughly 160 admin power. So let's go ahead and do that. I do like free stability. We can maybe afford a advisor, level 1 advisor. We should probably have it be a diplomatic. Yeah, we can afford the monthly cost, but we can't actually afford the higher cost, so we won't be doing that currently. Genjiro is, of course, still fetishist, because we never actually converted them. Makuria, we should probably revoke their march status. It'll cost 1 stability, but we just got a free one, so that'll work. Makuria is a little upset. Their Liberty Desire is still below 50 though, so we should be okay. They want to become a march again. We don't want them to become a march again. Only reason we did that was to potentially get their help against the Mamluks, but the Mamluks are actually not having a good day. Not having a good month. Not having a good year. The Mamluks are really having trouble. We can get ourselves Diptech 5 though. That would be great. Basic financial instruments. Overseas trade is very risky, but also highly profitable. The development of financial instruments like letters of credit will help reduce the risk, increasing our profits. We lost some claims on Beja. It's not a big deal, since they're already our vassal. And we'll be going to war here in 4 months. We're already ready to go to war. We're sitting at our maximum manpower. Our fleets are pretty weak. Yemen has just rivaled us. That's fine. They can do that. Looks like we are building all of our fleets in Tajura, so right here. They won't be leaving, so that's convenient. Now when we attack, we're going to want to time it so that Yemen doesn't have fleets right here, so that we can just hopefully walk across and control this immediately and not have to worry about naval battles there. Although they do appear to be having this one light ship just sitting here, which is unfortunate. Our 4 light ships could take that on, but not, I think, before their fleet got here. We should maybe recruit an admiral. Costs 49 dip power, which we do not have. So we cannot, in fact, recruit that admiral. Our truce with them is up. We can fight them. It's possible that Yemen just won't come in, but they would. Yemen, Hejaz, and Marahan. Marahan is here. Hejaz is these guys. They have no real way to get to us. If we could crush Yemen pretty much immediately, we could potentially pull this off. We'd be fighting 4 nations. Let's take a look here. Yemen is here with very little troops. Very little troops indeed. What about Hejaz? Hejaz has 6,000 troops. That's not very threatening either. What about Marahan? 6,000 as well. That's quite non-threatening. We have 27 out of 25. We somehow lost 2 force limit. That's okay. The real question, of course, is can we take this straight crossing? If we can take and hold this, that's the key to this war. Because then we can knock these guys out of the war separately and then focus entirely up here. If the Mamluks give military access, we do have vassals up here and Medjugorje. Medjugorje probably will not give them access. I think this is doable. What's the Miltex? Miltex 6, Miltex 6, Miltec 5, Miltec 5, and we are Miltec 6. So we have equivalent military technology. Individually, we can beat every single one of these nations. The key is going to be making sure that they don't all 4 of them group up. We can beat any 2 of them, I think, easily enough. Their fleet is not currently visible. Unless it's down here somewhere. No, I don't see it. I don't see Yemen's fleet. What about Hejaz? Do they have a fleet? We should take a look. Navies. Sort by country. Yemen has a total of 8 ships. They do have a heavy ship. 3 light ships and 4 transports. We really can't take their navy. Hejaz has a total of 0 ships. They have no navy whatsoever. And Adal and Marahan are the other 2 that we would have to worry about. That is not the button I wanted. Marahan has 12 ships. Heavy ship, 8 light ships. That's pretty scary. They're not here right now, though. So the question is, can we get across this strait before their ships show up? We can destroy this ship very quickly with our 4 ships. And then if we can control Muka here, then we can control the strait, whether they actually have ships there or not. So that's absolutely the key. I think we can probably get away with doing this. Marhan, Yemen, and Hejaz. We will be trying to reconquest our core Dawaro. That's going to be the reason for this war. Medjugorje will actually come in, and we may need their help. Eneria is not actually interested in helping us. Okay, this war could get a little scary. We're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to move our fleet out here immediately. We're going to try to knock Adal out of this war very, 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 very quickly. Let's see here. Okay, we did that. That's a holding action there. Let's see if we can get up there to support that. We need to get across here ASAP. Let's see if we get there. We're locked in. We're in a holding action, and we succeeded. We got across. Excellent. That's the key. Retreat our fleet. Go back there. Now, we can't get back across currently. However, we did make it over. Here we have Adal and Marahan's army. They have only 1 unit of cavalry in that. They are currently locked into Dawaro. We'll go ahead and walk over there. Surplus equipment. Turning a man into a soldier is expensive and time-consuming. One of the biggest costs is the necessary equipment that turns a defenseless man into a relentless killing machine. Fortunately, we have found that we have a stockpile of such equipment sitting around. It's in poor condition and won't last long, but if we were to use it now, we could get men into uniform much cheaper. Infantry cost minus 10% for 10 years. That's okay. So he's walking into Dawaro there. We did manage to get across this strait, which was the key to this whole plan. We're going to get some help here, looks like. Hopefully we can crush both of these. Yeah, here comes Medjugorje. Clergy political struggle. The time has come for the clergy to appoint a new leader to assist our Nagusa Nagast in the capital. The likely candidate is an old cleric with a solid history as a prominent member of the clergy behind him. He has, however, also acquired many enemies during his life who now hope to see a somewhat younger candidate with a less ugly past be appointed. As Nagusa Nagast, it would not be hard to influence this election to the younger candidate who would likely be more loyal. To be seen to meddle in the affairs of the clergy, however, would very likely weaken the faction in the long run. So we can not meddle and give them 10 influence. Or we can support the younger candidate. That'll put us into debt and lose 10 prestige. But they'll gain loyalty and lose influence. Let's not meddle. That's too expensive. We need that prestige for this war. There we go. We did take this here. Holding this is going to be key. These guys are currently marching into here, so we can go ahead and fight that. That's going to be a very, very big fight there. That is to say, a big deal in the outcome of this war. It's not actually a big fight. They don't have very many troops there. Yemen is pretty weak right now, so we should be able to pull this off. The hard part was the holding action to get across that strait. These guys should be able to fight these two nations on their own, especially with the help of Medjugorje. I'm going to tell Medjugorje to come up here and siege this, ideally. This fight's going well up here. There we go. We'll go see if we can stack wipe this over here. Medjugorje is just kind of wandering off to do whatever it is they want to do. These guys crossed over, actually. That's interesting. They're going over, presumably retreating up to here. We should probably keep pushing forward if we can. We can't, though. We need to capture Damar. How strong of a fort is that? It's a level 2 fort? Okay, so we'll need 6,000 troops. Let's go ahead and pull out 7,000 troops. Stick them there. These guys will stick close by. Oh, they're actually retreating right there. We're probably going to stack wipe here. And looks like Medjugorje has decided to take this instead. That's fine. They can do that. I'll give them explicit permission. This is going to be the same thing up here. It's going to take 9,000 troops to take Zayla. Okay, we won that. Knocked them back. We should siege Taiz here. That's a fort level 1. So there's no real troops left down here. They all retreated up this way. So this is the primary focus at this point. Now we're just mostly sieging down here. There are some mercs going to be running around probably as they merc up. This only requires 3,000 troops here. So we should probably go ahead and pull out most of our guys here. Or some of our guys. They can walk over here. We'll keep them close together though, just in case. We need to defend this crossing. Yeah, here comes some troops. This requires 9,000 troops. So we'll go ahead and leave everybody here, I guess. I don't like leaving cavalry here, but I guess it's necessary. Looks like our allies are pretty efficiently taking out Marahan. They are thinking about going for this crossing, I think. And it's what they should do. It's the most important thing here. Cultural unrest. The ongoing oppression and exploitation of the Excellent. The minority population in one of our provinces has finally reached its boiling point. The citizens of the province are up in arms against our rule. We can suppress them and make them upset, or we can try to negotiate. Gain 25 autonomy in Shendi. It's here. Their autonomy is already a little high. Let's go ahead and negotiate. I don't want to deal with a rebellion while we're trying to win this forefront war. That would be a little annoying. These guys are going to be marching straight into here. We should do something about that. There we go. They're locked in. I'm going to go ahead and pull off all but one here. We don't want to lose our progress on this siege. Go ahead and do that. And move these guys in as well. We'll just reinforce all of that. That should get these guys on out of here. And there they go. Ish. An army career. With the growth of our professional army, new career opportunities abound for those with ability and ambition. The old nobles, however, still expect to be awarded for all the most valuable commissions out of tradition and the centuries during which their lineages have served the crown faithfully. Some of our higher offices are now employing us. Higher offices are employing us. Wow, I'm so good at this. Some of our higher officers are now imploring us to open more opportunities for able men to rise in the ranks, while others who oppose this vehemently and maintain that there are qualities only blood can assure. So we can safeguard the ancient traditions of our officer corps, gain some army tradition, or we can lose army tradition and gain army professionalism. I like professionalism. I'm not a huge fan of tradition. These guys are going to wander up here. I think they're probably going to be chased around by our vassals or something. And as far as this goes, these guys need to come back here. And these guys need to come back here. Just need to continue our siege. Nobility are still disloyal. Now these guys are getting smacked around by Beja, which is kind of surprising considering they're disloyal. Oh, look at that. Hejaz showed up here. Okay. Well, we do have Marahan just about knocked out here. And once we finish this, then Adal will be too, and we can turn our focus to defending this and fighting this. So, we just need these sieges to progress a bit. Looks like Medjugorje almost has this nation completely knocked out. So they can then come up here and defend their territory, since they're right there. They'll probably be pretty invested in doing that. Independence from the Patriarchate. The dependency of the Ethiopian Church on the Patriarchate of Alexandria has always been a liability for our country. Perhaps there was once a practical need of bishops, clergy, and spiritual guidance from abroad. The expansion of the Ethiopian Church over the last 2 centuries, however, means that our kingdom is now already training its own clergymen, and there is a strong religious infrastructure in the form of churches and monasteries throughout our lands. With the Egyptian Patriarchate held hostage by Muslim conquerors, we often have to wait a long time between the death of one bishop and the appointment of the next. It would be far more efficient to appoint our religious leadership from the ranks of our own clergy. So we can gain a free stability, or we can lose a stability and have terrible things happen to us. Let's just gain the free stability. So Marahan is actually out of this war. We could probably separate peace them currently. We can't actually vassalize them. However, we can do war reps and just take money. This would create a truce. For how long is the question? It would create a truce for 9 years. What if we didn't take money? That would create a truce for 6 years. I like that. Let's go ahead and just get them out of this war. Just double check here that they're negotiating for themselves, and they are. So get on out of here. There we go. We don't need to worry about those guys anymore. And now our allies will come up here and start dealing with some of this stuff, hopefully. We do need to get this under control. There's also these guys. And this is starting to happen up here. But this is completely fine. Medjugorje should be able to take care of most of that. The diplomatic approach of Eleni. While growing up in Hadia, Eleni enjoyed studying people. She often made a game out of trying to predict the actions of the people around her, finding it not only fun, but as the years went by, an increasingly useful habit to keep. Thankfully, moving to the royal court of Ethiopia has not caused Eleni to abandon her knack for intrigue. If anything, she has gotten a lot of practice. During some of our recent negotiations with foreign diplomats, these skills have actually proven most valuable to the council. Excellent, 50 dip power. Thanks, Eleni. And these are actually progressing. This is very, very good. This is starting to become a problem up here. But we did finally get a wall breach in this fort. Medjugorje will take care of some of this, and our vassals will, to some degree, attempt to defend themselves. These are both up to 28%, though. So this force is going to be freed up very soon. There's this one. Can go ahead and do that. And there's that one. Excellent. We can walk these guys straight into here. These guys can come up here. And we'll just split off a few guys to go blanket siege that over there. There we go. We actually want to select this one. And we'll walk up this way. This siege is not progressing as quickly as I would have liked. But looks like we're doing okay. Hey, we got it. Okay. Go ahead and split off a couple of guys over here. And the rest of these guys can come start to defend this territory over here. This battle I'm a bit concerned about, but it looks like we're going to win that. Yeah, we did. We don't have the troops to actually keep that going, but it's all good. These guys will then march up here. This is still a bit of a problem. Medjugorje is actually working on it, though. Excellent. Go ahead and move these guys up to here, I guess. And this guy to here. These guys here. Once this happens, we can merge these together, move them here. These guys are actually going to catch these guys. However, we don't really have the numerical advantage. Or the leader advantage. We may lose this battle. But that's okay. Okay, they actually got away. I'm fine with this. This is better, in fact. We'll arrive in Damat. They're locked in. We should intercept them. We do have reinforcements streaming in. And we can get Miltech 7. The Limber. Artillery had been documented in Europe since the 13th century, but due to its lack of mobility, it had very limited battlefield use. The development of the Limber in the 1470s allowed guns to become much more mobile and thus useful. We are 15.5 years ahead of time on this. 16 years, I guess. Neighbor bonus -5. But we did get ourselves some artillery. Well, we don't have the artillery yet, but we have access to the artillery. We won that. We stack wiped them. These guys are going to walk into Dembia, so they're going to give up. We'll just go ahead and have these guys do a bit of a blanket siege here. They're walking up this way. Looks like our allies cleaned up all of that up there, so that's good. Go ahead and merge these guys together. They can march straight up to the capital fort up there. We do have Yemen knocked completely out of this war now. Go to Jeddah. Bronze cannons. The bronze cannon has made its entrance on the battlefield and is here to stay. The materials needed to feed the growing cannon-making industries have led to an explosion in the demand for copper over the last few years, and prices have risen as a result. 50% price of copper increase. Too bad we don't produce copper. So these guys are going to be walking up this way, it looks like. Trying to cap that area back. That is fine. They can do that. We're just going to recap this area and then walk up here. If they take this, then we can't cross, and we'll have to use these guys. Or we could theoretically go around the long way. Since they did that to us, it would only make sense to return the favor. Okay. As of right now, they are not, and now they are. Okay. So, Konstantinos Defki and his family. A merchant family from Soba has come to greatly expand our long-range trade with Mara. By successfully establishing themselves in both Kishan and the Mari hinterlands, they have come to be very influential in both our societies and very rich. This is a situation we could probably make use of. We should ask not what they can do for us, what is good for them is good for us, and we gain influential trading family, plus 10 trade power in the Gulf of Aden. That would be nice. Or we can make them a new architect for our trade policies, a level 2 advisor that's 50% cheaper to employ. Well, we're losing money. We can't afford an advisor. So let's just take the increased trade power. There we go. So they're trying to deny us this strait crossing. That's fine. They can do that. Does Hejaz want out of this war yet? They do not quite yet. And looks like he's giving up on that. That's very, very convenient. We just walk everyone into Tajura here. And we move these guys up here. These guys can go here as well temporarily, I think. There's no cavalry here. This is a level 2 fort, so we'll need to move some guys from here. In fact, we'll need to move 2 guys from here once they finish moving. Like so. Might as well move 1 more. There we go. We don't have the troops currently, but we'll get it. He is actually sieging some back there. Pretty adorable of him. He really should have sieged this so that I couldn't cross. If he had done that, there's no way we could stop him. It would have just been very annoying. But as it is, we can just come over here and crush him. Medjri Bari will probably come help. They're going the wrong way. They're not going to come help. We should be able to win this fight, though. Oh, they are returning. We'll see if they get there in time. Who wants peace? Adal. Of course they do. Medjri Bari did not get there in time. And they stopped trying. Thanks, Medjri Bari. Hejaz, do you want out? No. No, they do not. Well, they will very, very soon. He came back across. That's nice of him. These guys will recover quite quickly. We do still have a lot of manpower. The administrative ideas of Eleni. Combined with a strong moral compass, Eleni has always had a sense for order. Decisions made by her are trusted decisions. Be it about political issues or during friendly conversation, the Atege speaks her mind eloquently, something that awarded her some admiration even during her early days in Hadia. Most importantly, however, the words of the Atege carry a truthfulness to them, a matter making even the most stubborn members of the court heed any advice offered from her. Excellent. 50 admin power. Thanks. She is really, really good. Okay, we'll go around, come back this way. Medjri Bari is taking this on. That is very nice of them. Can we get here? We cannot get there. Okay. Royal marriage offer from Eneria. We'll take that. Go ahead and move these guys back across, since the only people we're fighting is over here now. 28% on their capital. Actually, that only requires 3k. I don't know why I have 6 here. Go ahead and move 2 out. Actually, we can move all of them out because it's over. Hejaz, do you want out? Hejaz does want out. We can just take money and war reps and let Hejaz out. There we go. Hejaz is out. Move these guys back down here. Once we take this, then we will be able to have our way with Yemen and Adal. And there we go. So, we'll separate piece out Yemen. For sure we want to grab this. Absolutely 100%. If we can get away with grabbing a couple of other provinces, that would be great. Let's check to see if there's... Yeah, that would be a great one right there. So let's see about... for Yemen, grabbing that. That would cause a coalition. Yemen would be upset. Dasawir, Mara, Adal, Warsangali, and Marahan. It's not too scary. It's a little scary. Don't get me wrong. But I think we can handle it. Marahan will jump out immediately. Of course, they're going to get even more upset. What if we don't take that? I think that's a better option right there. That makes people less angry and gives us a bit more space to take stuff from Adal. We can also take war reps. Help our economy out a bit. That's going to be a pretty long truce, but that's fine. We're opening up some enemies down here. So we'll go ahead and do that. We took those. Absolutely excellent. Go ahead and move those guys down there. Make those core. And then we are going to go ahead and see what we can take from these guys. What if we take everything? We can take everything. Yemen, Adal, who will no longer exist, Warsangali, Marahan, Dasawir, and Mara will all be angry at us. I mean, that's almost all down here. There's a couple of stuff up here. But we do have this foothold now. They'll be pretty angry. What if instead of taking these, we just took those two and then vassalized the rest? That is a better option. It's a much better option. Then we could take their money. There we go. We can make this our main trade port, which we absolutely should, but we have to core it first, which we'll do. We can make a state, and we should do that. We can spend some of this money. Shua is a pretty good place to spend it. Also, Soba's okay. We also finished a mission, if it comes around. There we go. Wealth of Africa. Africa is rich in gold, coffee, and ivory. We should ensure that we control at least our fair share of these valuable goods, so that we might establish economic independence. And we have. So there we go. We also got conquer new states. As we expand, we must ensure that we can truly integrate the new lands we conquer into our administrative apparatus. After conquest comes the hard work of establishing true Ethiopian rule over the conquered territories. So there we go. So I think that's a pretty good place to end it. We just won a major war against Adal, Yemen, Hejaz, and Marahan. Expanded our holdings down here, grabbed Adal as a vassal, grabbed a toehold on the peninsula there. So I think that's a great place for me to take a break. And until then, I will see you guys next time.